Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL Go4Battlerite Cup. €150 on the line. I'm bringing you all the action for the 100 team plus tournament. In just a few moments, we are going to get into our match between Fleek and TimeGoat. My name is TJ, my co-caster is Dropbear, and we do have the rosters locking in as we speak.
Let's look at the rosters as they lock in. Voidking on his pretty signature, I think, at this time. Olaf? It's not Olaf.
Older. You are not good at names today. Older over on Voidking and Jumong on Keenan, over on Fleek. By contrast, over on TimeGoat, they're considering and are probably going to stick with Rifletown over on Lucy, and Ishka over on Varesh. The interesting thing to me here is that Jumong Older combo. We saw it a few times during PRL and it never quite worked.
Nope, no, it changed again. So it will be Fleek on the left and TimeGoat on the right.
Oh, it's a double fake out again.
Yep.
You gotta trust the lobby, because the champion picking screen is sometimes backwards, but the lobby never lies. We are getting into the game. Over on the left-hand side, like he said, Fleek running Rifletown over on Lucy, and Ishka will back him up with that Varesh. That's an interesting combo. You rely on Rifletown to have a decent amount of self-preservation, and of course the DPS healing combo, where Keenan over on Jumong has incredible mobility, and Voidking can always be there for the healing. I'm amazed by both these team comps. They're both really cool and relatively recent in terms of the meta.
I do like the choice of Oldir, as we have seen a lot of good Oldirs, especially with that, I'm not sure what to call it. It's the nice sand bubble. Oh boy, Corona Flux. We're getting right back into it.
You're not doing good with name words.
It's 1:20 AM. Let's go back into round one.
You're right. I'll do the play-by-play then. It'll be fine. There's already the Wuji teleport into the backlines. The root will be in effect off the back of that trap. Keenan with the black arrows dancing back and forth. The arrow right from the sky is good, but the Chrono Flux, that sends a lot of damage right back into Ashka. Risk sorry as he begins to rein in the damage. He will need to grab orb. There it is, nicely timed Hand of Judgment to go ahead and secure it for his team, and he will just begin racking up the damage with a great dash through his opposition, but he's going to be temporarily pinned to the wall as the arrows rain from the sky. It will be just the counter to allow him to escape.
Kennen seems to be in the exact wrong position. He is in the middle, and you do not want to be there, as you want to be right behind your, well, anything, really.
Oh, there he is. The Wuju won't be triggered. Iska waiting for Voidking to give him something, anything to let him get right back into the action. There's the ulti ready. If he can go ahead and make this huge play, it would be good, but he's relying on the Wuju. There it is, the ultimate flying through. 1, 2, 3, and he actually got a 2 for 1-on-1. The Dragon Slayer immediately after does land on him, but it doesn't matter because they're still able to guarantee the kill. The Chrono Flux does a decent amount of damage, but he actually pops the Kunju as soon as his bolt goes ahead and hits the Chrono Flux, and he's able to counter, read back off it, and then teleport behind the opposition. Now able to use the time travel into the backlines, he will be able to guarantee the kill and go after the kill.
That will be our Oldir down, and it will be 1-0 in favor of Fleek. Going into this match, I actually wouldn't have predicted that. TimeGoat does seem like the much stronger team right now, but maybe we've run to a new team somehow. Have you seen any games of Fleek?
Yeah, we actually casted them last game. They were last tournament, sorry. They were an incredibly good team at that point. I think that was the last ESL we casted together.
Oh,
that was... got to see Fleek.
That was last week.
That was a fair bit.
As we get back underway, we have a nice Chrono Flux blocking the Keenan and Voidking in that very tight choke point. Orb does go the way of the red team. TimeGoat trying to find an opening. Counter isn't triggered, so we do see a nice R usage to get out of there. There's one counter, doesn't have the second. as a Battlerite.
Arrows will rain from the sky, but he's not able to qualify it with any follow-up damage. The steady shot waiting. There's the time travel going through right into the backline. Keenan is the primary target. The barrier will be popped, but he's already eating the quicksand. There's the Dragon Slayer potentially coming out. He will opt for the Yanks ability instead, but the Petrify does land on him. That's not a good look for him, because now he's secured a 1-on-2, but only for the time being. His Rifle Town still hammering in the damage. He will need to fall back. Void King and Co playing this range. The Dragon Slayer is available. There it is coming out, and it won't nail anything. Just the orb for his team. The arrow rain though, that's good. It will be the reform to escape into the backlines. Kunju is triggered, sorry, Wuju, and he will be right back there, but I do think that's an overextension, and that Rifle Town's left alone in a 1-on-2.
Yeah, there's not much that... oh, he's trapped in the Chronoflux, in between a wall and a Chronoflux. That's not the best place. That will be 1-1, and just having a look, 800 damage in round 2 with only round 2 Battlerites. That's quite a lot of damage, honestly. We do see also Void King managing to out-damage the Varash on the other side, surprisingly. 591 versus 530.
Tied up 1-1 now. Time goes answering back, and I love their team comp. It's just so beautiful when it works out, and one of the things that Void King does really well is his Chronofluxes. His placement of them, his timing, it's always great.
As we get into round 3, just both in the middle of the map, as we see Varash versus the Oldir. Oldir has to dodge out. Keenan on the Jumong, oh, good trap, but is in the middle of both of the blue team. Browse on Fleek, managing to get a lot of damage out and bringing him down to his maximum HP down.
And will be the return trying to come in, not quite able to connect enough damage, and Void King and Co will need to fall back for the time being, as the chip is not going their way. There's the arrow rain though off the back of the snare. That did have the possibility to do decent damage under Rifle Town. It will instead be the follow-up. Great use of steady shot to do a decent amount of damage. There's the reform. Teleport already trying to harass that Older, but Void King reads it nicely. Quicksand onto the point, won't be enough to guarantee orb, as the orb will slide the way of Browse on Fleek as they continue to dominate. There's the open one going his way, but he isn't able to follow it up because the black arrow dodge on that first one, he didn't actually land it. That was incredible, and there's the time travel already into the backlines. Keenan trying to deal very frantically with this backline. Jumong, he will be able to do so, and actually the Wuju teleport right behind Void King. That was huge. Now, he's not able to get orb, but his teammate Rifle Town is. The Telemander out of Void King will be temporarily allowing him to escape. Nice crippling goo coming in, and the Flask can't follow up. The Clarity can't follow up and push him back into it, so it will just be a decent amount of damage. HP lead still though with Ishka and Rifle Town.
The positioning from Void King was very good up until that last point where he got caught way out of position with the crippling goo. So that managed to bring him down to almost half health.
Nice, into the backlines, the Wuju yet again. It's so nice to see Ishka popping that at precisely the right time. Now Seeker's Mark is potentially available. If the damage lands, it could be bad for him, but he's going to be able to reform right behind his opposition and destroy that Jumong. There's the teleport right behind his first primary challenger, and he's doing a decent amount onto him, but he isn't able to finish off the kill onto Keenan, because Keenan with the black arrows is dodging brilliantly. The follow-ups from Rifle Town drop him very low, but he's able still to get around the corner off the back of that Chronoflux. It will provide the healing necessary for the time being. The shifting stance, meanwhile allowing that Older to escape, and Void King and Keen are now all alone. Void King will be trapped out because his teammate was driven out of the arena and locked down with great placement of the trap and the snare. The time travel needs to guarantee a kill, and he might be able to do it actually onto Rifle Town as the quicksand comes in, but the barrier will be popped in time, and I don't see this working out for him.
Keenan was very unlucky. He got petrified outside of the Circle of Doom, meaning that while he was out there, he was just taking so much damage, and then couldn't get back in. Just died due to Circle of Damage, Doom damage. Oh, we got a pause. Keenan has been disconnected, so we will be having a short break. Just quickly having a look. 2-1 in favor of Browse and Fleek. What do Time Goat really have to do to bring it back? Maybe have Keenan not be so aggressive? I'd
be interested to go ahead and just see more tag team play. Like, Keenan has the capacity for great kiting play. The big issue is that Iska is being allowed to get behind them, use that Wuju counter to teleport behind them, and they're not shutting him down. They're not punishing him for being right inside their backlines. The second they do that, like right here, he's into the backline and there's the instant focus. Keenan able to do a decent amount of damage, but the older, instead of helping him with that, he goes ahead, he runs away with the shifting sands. Void King, he falls back instead of just dedicating to the punish, and that means that Wallachka definitely comes out with a decent amount of HP damage. He's about tied up with the amount he managed to do onto Keenan and Co. The shield will come out, and he's still just managing to hold this front line there. Finally is a nice bit of damage coming through off the back of the quicksand, but the petrified bolt did land from Rifletown onto Void King, which means that it's a very, very low HP Keenan, desperately trying to dance around behind this Chronoflux to keep himself alive. I don't know what he really can do.
Both of the Void King and Keenan just keep getting silenced due to this Ishka Varesh. He's now picked up the Battlerite where anything, when he's got both the Corruption and the, we're going to have to quickly look at it again, it's Corruption and the Judgment are on them, it just renews when it's both on them. And then you just trigger it, it's instant silence. Just too powerful.
Well, we have seen a lot of really high-level Varesh. When he is picked up, he is so incredibly dominant because the players definitely know how to play him. Void King fairly low on HP as that chip damage does come through. There's the ride into the backlines, actually. Nice dodging out of that Varesh. There's the Dragon Slayer ultimate. If he can land onto Rifletown, it would be huge, but no, the roll will save him. And now Void King all alone. This could be bad, but the time travel does come through. He's able to land the stun, followed by the quicksand. That's a decent, large amount of HP instantly gone on Rifletown, but Jumol, meanwhile, has fallen. Void King in a 1-on-2 for the game. The shifting sands through. The time travel will be available. Rifletown, his primary target. He does land the stun yet again. There's the chip damage out of the quicksand. Follow up is good, but the sands of time will be counteracted by Clarity Flask, and the silence is more than enough to guarantee the kill. 3-1 now in favour of the blue side.
We do have to still point out the amount of damage that Varesh is putting out is almost nowhere near how much Void King and Keenan combined can do. So it is really up to Rifletown to keep healing up the Ishka and herself to really keep them back in, really keep them still winning these rounds in these games.
Black Arrow follow through is good already in the backlines. Rifletown being pressured. Deadly Injection, meanwhile, coming out from Rifletown. If he can go ahead and just keep applying that, if they can land their focus, which is what they've been doing, it will be dominant for their team. There it is, the Incapacitate coming through. Barrier will take a brunt of the damage, and the Panic Flux does nicely timed. Keenan, he goes into the backlines to take a 1v1 versus Rifletown, and he loses it so far. There's the time travel coming through, but it misses with a great predictive roll coming out, and it will be the arrow rain from the sky. They're reading that perfectly. The Panic Flux guaranteeing a temporary 1v1 versus Void King. He needs to go ahead and make sure that he's not going to lose this, because he's taking significant damage going back and trying to play the orb. He's not even going to be able to grab that, and it's the Dragon Slayer ultimate available on Keenan. But he's in the backline. This isn't the position you want to use it, although Rifletown will still be hit by it. Hitbox's game, question mark?
However, the shield does mean that no damage out of the ulti, so it was just a stun, and they weren't able to actually get any damage during the stun, as Void King was still fighting off this Ishka, and almost failing, honestly. They're both almost even health right now.
There's the Panic Deadly Injection combo already flying out on the Void King, though, as you're talking about. He is able to regen a little bit of HP, but it's not nearly enough, and this whole time, Keenan, he's all alone. The heals are nearly enough. The Chronoflux, that's only a little bit to keep him alive. The Immaterial will land, but he needs to find a way to stay alive. Even though Rifletown's hunting him down, there's Keenan with the ultimate available. He actually pops it instead for any ability to go ahead and escape, but he does not have what's necessary, and he will still fall. Void King, he's almost got ulti charge if he goes ahead and triggers it and goes after that EX over on the bottom side of the map from his fallen ally. Maybe he can go ahead and give himself a double ulti. He does need to start it right now, and that's his only real hope as the time travel comes in. It's predictive, oh, and it's perfect! Doing a decent amount of damage, able to grab orb, that could be huge already. 2 EX charges to his name. Void King needs to fall back as the Deadly Injection follow through, though, and the shifting sands will only keep him temporarily alive, and it will be older, falling in the end. 4-1, match point over for Browse on Fleek.
9,801 healing. There's, and then there's obviously a lot of points out of there from obviously his healing potion, but the toxic also heals, and the clarity potion and the petrify also heals. So it does add up.
Adds up very quickly indeed. You can just see the constant healing coming through from Rifletown is more than enough. Although he is being focused out by Void King this time, Void King will need to fall back to go ahead and keep his Jumong alive, and this has kind of been a theme. Keenan definitely not able to handle these 1v1s that he thinks he is able to. He's going ahead, he's taking risky 1v1s, and he's losing them every time, and that's costing his team. It will be the Stone Glass able to come through, followed by the Root. Maybe the Incapacity will come through, and indeed it will. Keenan doing decent damage onto his opposition here, but Isco will be able to pop that Wuju in time to go ahead and teleport behind his opponent. Nice read on the Black Arrow. The steady shot follow-up won't land, and the Chrono Flux is only a temporary better, and indeed Orb still grabbed by the blue side. It will be the barrier coming through for the backline. Wuju dive. The arrows raining from the sky are decent, but still not enough, because Ishka, he's being hammered. Silenced, incapacitated temporarily. Void King is winning his fight versus the opposing Ishka, though, and that could be huge if he can go ahead and win this fight versus Paresh. It would be insane, but now he's in a 2v1, is only temporarily. There's the incapacitated into the backline. Keenan able to do decent damage onto the opposing healer. Take him out of the fight for the time being. The Root comes through the reform, though, right behind the opposition. This isn't good at all, as Alder's barely able to keep himself alive as is. Now Ishka very, very aggressive. This is not good at all.
These corruption and corruption stacks are just being piled on completely. Or there's an rain of arrows being put on. Good work by Rifletown to block it with the shield as we slow down a little. Chronoflux put in the middle.
There it is, shifting sands into the backlines. Black Arrow will follow through. There's the crippling coup. Black Arrow out. Double cast will allow him to fully escape. And now Void King's here for the counter. But there it is in the backline. The double stun off the back of it is insane. And the petrifying follow-up for the Stone Glass isn't nearly enough to guarantee the kill. The follow-ups might be if he can land them, but it will instead be the counter. The time travel does guarantee a stun, but only temporarily, and he will fall regardless.
We have your round of 32 finalists. They will be Browns on Fleek defeating Time Goat. That is not the that's not the answer I was expecting. Void King and Keenan being pretty strong contenders, but they will be knocked out for this week.
Of course, if you want to view the whole bracket, you can do so over with the command !bracket in the Twitch chat. You go ahead and do that. You will have all the information you need to make an educated decision. As is, we can see a lot of teams advancing. Farmer Dai or Team I don't know, it's Swedish, I'm not even going to attempt it, are doing a decent job battling off. Of course, the winner will face Browse on Fleek in their own round of 16. Further down the round of 16, we can see that Fear Esports and Bruce Lee have gone ahead and advanced. Entrovia and Project Horizon have also advanced. And Coup de Grace versus Gonna Odium this are already underway at the very bottom of the bracket. Do you think we can go ahead and catch that match?
Which one?
Gonna Odium versus Coup de Grace.
Ooh, that'll be interesting. Gonna Odium
yep,
this.
We will.
Oh. No, you
we will have to throw over to a break right now in order to go ahead and try and catch those people before they go ahead and start. So thank you very, very much for watching so far. Of course, if you do want to keep track of all the information in the bracket, you can do so over there, and we will be continuing with the tournament on this very stream, twitch.tv/battleright_RIGHT. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.